level of fear.
Minister of Defense Wayne Sturge says prison breaches are fueling crime in this country, and the recent move of high-risk prisoners became necessary to cut off the head of the snake. Speaking at a budget consultation in Freeport on Wednesday night, Sturge said while prisoners were restrained physically, their criminal activities continued unabated.
Recently, a couple guns were found in prison. That's a serious security risk. But to tell you how far we have descended, and which is indicative of how fearful prison officers are of some of the elements, there's a certain prisoner, I won't call his name, a certain prisoner who had in his cell, in the infamous Building 13, which is reserved for the worst of the worst, he had in his cell a very large flat-screen TV.
The defense minister said he understood the plight of prison officers as they face credible threats to their lives.
Usually when you confront the prisons about how things are going, they don't seem to bring anything into the prison. It's always drones dropping it in. So I don't know how they dropped in a 65-inch TV. But on the one hand, we may believe that prison officers are corrupt. On the other hand, there's another dynamic to it. They are human beings, and they are subject to the same fears that we have. More so, where they work is where the prisoners live. And it's not hard to find out where they live, and so on. So they are obviously fearful.
But this, he said, does not absolve them from their responsibilities.
The level of fear that they face, it has now reached the stage where it's easy for communications from some of the most dangerous prisoners to get out into the public domain and for them to carry out all sorts of nefarious activities without fear of detection, without fear of prosecution, without fear of punishment.
He adds that the recent voice note threatening prison officers is an indication of what they face, but the defense minister is giving the assurance that it is being addressed with the urgency it requires.
One of the persons extracted was still able to make communication outside and is threatening to bring harm to law enforcement and so on. Those are things, I assure you, we have the capacity to deal with and to deal with in short order.
Saying there's a level of criminality in the country with local gangs infiltrating with Venezuelan gangs, one of which, he says, has been designated a terrorist group. The defense minister asked for patience as he says the government is working to address these issues.
And we ask that you be patient. There's a lot that will be revealed, but there's a lot that we ought not to reveal because we do not want to bother you too much and cause you to be too concerned, because the reality is we are in control and we have control of the situation.
He added that guns are coming into the country through more legal ports of entries than illegal ones. Janelle Bernard, CNC3 News.